Chinese sellers occupy a pivotal position in the Amazon e-commerce site thanks to the demographic dividend that has helped them build a full range of categories and superb production speed, plus the advantages of a supply chain. On Amazon.com, 63% of sellers are from China. It's not an exaggeration to say that on Amazon, the world's largest e-commerce platform, Chinese sellers can cover 99% of the categories, although their quality is a different story. November 30th wrapped up the Black Friday sales on Amazon. It's a big Christmas shopping day in the US that offers the most discounts with the most promotions. It's also the last chance for Chinese sellers to boost their annual sales. However, during the season, several Chinese sellers were suspended for allegedly manipulating online reviews. According to Chinese media, the Time Weekly, an operator of a medium-sized e-commerce company in Shenzhen, said, "I've never seen such a tough act. Just on the day of this year's Black Friday sale, a seller had his brand directly blocked for allegedly manipulating reviews." On a Chinese website, a seller posted a request for help, saying he received a closure notice early in the morning of November 29th from Amazon. Another Chinese seller revealed that tens of thousands of Amazon accounts were closed down in the past 2 days, and the reason for the closure is due to Amazon affiliate stores. Amazon affiliate stores mean that if one store under the same company is banned, the rest of the stores affiliated with the company may be closed as well. Those who make money during the Black Friday sales are usually powerhouse sellers. This year, some of the top sellers from China have been forced out of the game early on. Since April 30th, 2021, Chinese sellers on Amazon have experienced an unprecedented wave of closures. A large number of offending sellers' products were taken down by Amazon due to allegedly falsified product reviews. Big sellers from China such as Aoki, Tomtot, Yukishu Technology, Patizon, and Sun Valley were among them. These Chinese e-merchants aren't small in size. Yukishu, Sun Valley, Patizon, and Tomtot had revenues of $746 million, $758 million, $777 million, and $1.172 billion in 2020, respectively. The executive president of China's Shenzhen Cross-Border E-Commerce Association said in August that this was the largest account blocking action by Amazon in the last 5 years, and the majority of affected accounts were said to be Chinese sellers. Since May, more than 50,000 Chinese sellers have been shut down on Amazon, causing industry losses estimated at more than 100 billion renminbi. During Amazon's banning operation, Chinese seller Sun Valley had 330 sites suspended in total, and its sales revenue dropped 74.88% year-on-year in the third quarter. The first seller to be hit by the storm, Patizon, was known as one of the Amazon 3 in China. 606 of its hot-selling items were taken off the shelves, and a large amount of funds were frozen by Amazon. According to Chinese media, the direct reason for the ban on Patizon's Mpao brand was that the company's operations solicited customers for 5-star reviews, which violated the Amazon platform's code of conduct for sellers. On August 9th, Patizon issued a notice that some of its product development staff were suspended from work for 6 months. During this period, Global E-Grow, a well-known Chinese e-commerce company, had a large number of its online stores on Amazon blocked, and its funds were frozen. In June 2021, the company, with an annual trading volume of nearly $1.6 billion, filed for bankruptcy reorganization by a bank in Shenzhen. On August 12th, an online seller in Shenzhen jumped off a high-rise building, and his colleagues revealed the reason was that his Amazon store was shut down and he couldn't withdraw his money. On September 17th, Cindy Tai, Vice President of Amazon Global and head of Amazon Global Store Asia Pacific region, said to the public that the violations of the 600 Chinese brands that were banned included falsification of identity, bribery, cooperation with some gray industry parties, and selling illegal products. In an interview with China National Television, Cindy Tai said that the closure wasn't specific to China, but merchants from other countries were also involved. However, Chinese media believe that it's a crackdown on China's export business by U.S. civilian forces amidst the U.S.-China trade war. China's 2020 Cross-Border Export E-commerce Industry White Paper shows that China's cross-border e-commerce in 2020 amounted to $265.4 billion US, of which $188.5 billion was for exports, accounting for 70% of total imports and exports, an increase of 40% over the same period in 2019. Data from China's National Post Bureau shows that by the end of 2020, parcels sent from China accounted for more than 60% of all cross-border e-commerce parcels worldwide. According to Tianyancha, a big data company with Chinese enterprise information, there are currently more than 600,000 cross-border e-commerce related businesses in China, and more than 42,000 new businesses have been added so far in 2021. It's evident that the proportion and weight of cross-border e-commerce in China's foreign trade exports are growing more significantly and have become an important channel to export Chinese products. Moreover, it has also employed a considerable number of Chinese people. The success of Chinese sellers on Amazon is attracting more Chinese to the market, but now they are realizing that the Americans are serious about what they do and that it's no longer possible for them to replicate past successes. Speaking to the Chinese media and the public, these Chinese e-commerce leaders have expressed their frustration. It's an open secret that Chinese sellers are generally in violation of the rules. And for more than a decade, there existed a sort of unspoken agreement between Amazon and Chinese sellers to leave it alone. How can they suddenly take such massive and severe action? Indeed, on the surface, almost all countries' e-commerce platforms prohibit the practice of false reviews. The most common violation is click farming, that is, store owners pay people to pretend to be customers who fake shopping to get sales and good reviews to improve the ranking of their online stores. On the e-commerce platform, whether it's a product or store, the higher the ranking of the product, the higher the exposure rate and click rate and more orders. Those ranked behind get almost no exposure, let alone sales transactions. Chinese e-commerce platforms such as Taobao also advocate click farming is illegal and the store will be permanently closed for serious cases. But a popular saying on the Chinese internet is click farm may bring troubles, but not to clickbait, will only perish. 9 out of 10 stores in Taobao are doing click farming. It's very common in China. Both store owners and consumers are used to it. If you use Baidu, China's Google, to search for shuake or click farm, that is, to do the job of click farming, thousands of recruitment ads will come up. Most job advertisements have descriptions like move your fingers to make money, not to leave home, but to count the money till your hands are tired. This type of employment has the option of being full-time or part-time. Full-time jobs generally pay a base monthly salary of $300 to $400 US, and then earn 50 cents to $2.50 for every single entry. Part-time jobs are available at any time if one wants to earn extra money. Many college students or stay-at-home housewives are working at this job. A Chinese journalist investigated a click farm that had more than 30,000 people working online every day. The journalist wrote that a web user named Pioneer, a college graduate from 2014, bought a house in Hangzhou with his income from click farming. He started early in his first year as a part-time job. He escaped classes every day to work on the computer. In the first few years, when the business of click farming was booming, he was able to earn a few thousand renminbi a month. He became popular in the industry and moved up to become a manager. He could earn tens of thousands of renminbi a month by managing others to do the job. The click farm offers a full set of training for newcomers, including the need to pretend to visit many online stores and then come into the target merchant. They connect through secret codes. For example, one asks, "Do you have shoes for sale?" The store owner replies, "Yes, but the clothes at my store are also very good. You can check them out." In this way, the two parties are connected. The customer purchases an item with the store's money. The customer then receives a package, which of course may be an old newspaper or nothing at all. After receiving the package, the customer will go to the platform and write a good review. If the customer writes a good review before the package arrives, it would be caught by the platform, so these become the work rules of the fake customer. Of course, some might do the job carelessly because they are busy or for other reasons. So if one comes across unintelligible reviews on Taobao, which is a popular domestic electronic platform in China, most of them belong to such cases. Amazon's platform is better than domestic electronic platforms. For example, an ordinary thermos cup that's sold at $2.50 US dollars in China can be sold on Amazon for $25 US dollars to American customers. After deducting commissions and shipping costs, one can make a profit of nearly 19 US dollars. Chinese sellers have refined the formula used on Taobao and used it on Amazon to take the lead on the international stage. In 2014 or so, Chinese sellers entered Amazon in a big way. Other sellers didn't take notice at first, but soon they started discussing how to deal with Chinese sellers. Chinese sellers manipulate online reviews with little to no moral burden. They pay for a lot of positive reviews to improve their star ratings or include a varying amount of gift cards in their packages to solicit 5-star reviews. Through these crazy operations, Chinese sellers make up a large percentage of Amazon merchants overall and are at the top of the list in most categories. In 2020, China claimed to the international community that it was the first to contain the pandemic. As a result, China's cross-border e-commerce boomed against the market and drew in a lot of capital. However, all of that has now come to an abrupt end. Chinese industry insiders predict that more accounts will be closed by Amazon soon. At least 200,000 to 300,000 seller accounts are problematic and are now under review. Chinese media reported that when Amazon began shutting down stores in late April, a longtime Chinese e-merchant approached an employee at Amazon China, who told her that in the past there was a possibility of getting the account back after appeal, but not this time. It's an iron rule within the company. Chinese media also admitted that the massive store closure may not be Amazon's intention. It has to do with the overall situation between the US and China. In short, in March 2021, a click farm leaked information relating to 200,000 to 300,000 Chinese sellers onto the web. The Safety Detectives cybersecurity team discovered the database breach, which contained more than 13 million records and 7 gigabytes of data, including direct communication between Amazon sellers and buyers who provided fake reviews. In total, more than 200,000 people were involved, and the database's servers were located in China. In this database, buyers who provided fake reviews, as well as Amazon sellers' personal data, are included, such as sellers' accounts, email addresses, WhatsApp and Telegraph phone numbers, as well as reviewers' Amazon profiles, PayPal account details, email addresses, and usernames. About 75,000 Chinese Amazon accounts were exposed. The incident was reported by American media and sparked public concern. Amazon released a letter to all Amazon sellers on May 20th, emphasizing that its policy requires sellers not to abuse reviews. On June 13th, the New York Times published a story describing Amazon sellers' use of small cards to obtain positive reviews. 3 days later, Amazon issued another open letter titled "Building a Trustworthy Customer Review Experience." Parallel to this was Amazon's massive campaign to block accounts in China. In response to the US e-commerce giant's actions, Chinese media called out, "Huawei is chip-choked and cross-border e-commerce can no longer afford to be strangled by Amazon. Shenzhen is where cross-border e-commerce is concentrated in China." On August 5, 2021, the Shenzhen Municipal Bureau of Commerce issued a notice to provide financial support to companies that develop overseas markets through independent e-commerce websites, meaning alternative platforms other than Amazon as their sales channels. A single project could be subsidized to the amount of $310,000 US dollars, and the maximum subsidy for a single project could be as high as $470,000 US dollars. But it's obvious that this is far from enough for the Chinese sellers in crisis. Chinese e-merchants have excused themselves for click farming by saying, "Everyone knows that it's in everyone's interest to follow the rules, but there are always people who don't do it. When one person doesn't follow the rules and gets a good run, everyone tends to follow suit. He who can find a way to grow faster will definitely go for it." This type of statement, when applied to the chaotic business environment in China, may not be entirely wrong. But outside Communist China, such seemingly clever and bogus behavior falsifying reviews is clearly driven by greed. For many Chinese business people, a real change in thinking is needed if they want to go global and win the respect of consumers worldwide.